Hey there, friendlies. How's up? Sorry, the drumming wasn't as good as usual, but this is not my usual tipper. I don't know where my usual one is. The weight's really different. And I only discovered this right before coming on. Drum down. Cans on. For that radio look. Hooked up to something. Okay, we're good. So much to say, so little time. And I don't even have anything planned this week. Let's start off by saying hi to everyone who's here and then doing the weekly housekeeping. Tenenbaum was in right early. He was about 20 minutes early, but then again, so was I. Raspberry Rock, not all who wander are lost. That's a good quote from a good book. Linda from Lipstick Lodge is in the house. Nice to see you. Sharon Q, who, by the way, is a channel member. Nice to see you, Sharon. Canadian. David Evans, another channel member. Nice to see that little logo there. You guys are my hero squad, as is Russell from Raspberry Rock. Carol, also a member. How's it going? Hey, there's Pine Martin. Nice to see you pop up in the side chat, Martin. Canadian in the house. Charles and Anna in from down south. Nice to see you. So I've said hi to everyone who's with us so far. So I'd just like to do the weekly. That's better. So I'll just do the weekly housekeeping. If indeed you are listening to us time shifted to tomorrow or next week or next month, thank you. I really like knowing that those eyes are on this live stream even after the fact. And I love getting comments in the days following the actual live event. Also, you may have noticed that some of the people in the side chat have special green names and logos next to them. Those are channel members. If you would like to take the dive and become a member of the channel, please feel free to hit the join button down there, and it will show you that there are 2 tiers. They're both highly affordable, and they both help me massively. And they each have small perks. Aside from that, if at any point tonight you really, really like what's happening, then please feel free to hit that smiley thumb. And if at some point tonight you kind of don't like what's going on, that's okay. The frowny thumb works as well. So what do we got tonight? We have beer. We have a blade. And we're probably going to be talking about bushcraft. I also have water. And of course, I have tea. So my I realized before coming on that I had put everything too far away. So sorry about diving out of screen there, guys. It's not very pro of me. But, you know, we're all friends here, right? So. Long's Quest. How's it going? Tim in the house. Tim Keegan. Nice to see you. Hike with Mike. Nice to see you as well. I don't have a specific thing to talk about this week. I have many things. I have plans and stuff. So I don't want to steal my own thunder by talking about any of those things up front. I would like to say that as we are coming into the warm half of the year, I'm not hearing about as many of you folks taking trips into the woods as I'm used to hearing in years past, like before the plague kicked the crap out of everything. Are any of you guys hitting the woods this year? Let me know. I want to know where you're going. I think Hike with Mike, he never stopped hitting the bayou. But yeah, let me know. I want to know if you guys are packing tent and pegs or not. I meant to do that. The reason I'm opening this beer, this is by Ruth Microbrasserie. This is a cuvée spéciale Belge Doré, so a golden Belgian special thing. It's strong ale, but it's only 6.5%, so I'm okay. We're going to be okay. And I will not be doing whiskey tonight. Last night I did a little nightcap, and something really clicked for me this morning, and that's this is going to make me sound really old, but my CPAP machine does not work if I have too much alcohol before going to bed. So it's going to be a 1 beer night. And a lot of water and some tea, because hey, tea is a good drink. Am I right? I blew the pour, so Serge is probably at least with us in spirit. Oh, so much to talk about. No, I'm not going to bring the tone down. By the way, don't hate my knife because it's beautiful. Excuse me. Everyone in my house is sick right now. Well, everyone in my house is slightly sick. My kids are both sick as hell. So it's been a rough week, let me tell you. But we're pulling through. Kids are back in school and daycare starting tomorrow. And I have so far, I'm holding it together. Oh, I forgot to turn my light on. Hold on. Ah, yeah, it's on all right. I would like to show you guys my cool t-shirt. That is not from my channel. Many of you will know that that's from Russell's channel. And if one of my mods would it be Ghosh to put his merch link up? Maybe it would be Ghosh, but I'll let you guys decide. If one of the mods wants to put it up, then go for it. I won't mind. Wow, that's a nice color. That's nice and dark. Smells a little hoppy, but also very malty. More malty than hoppy than hoppy, so I'm okay. It's nice and fresh for something that dark, and it's not too hoppy at all. It might be kind of malty to a fault, actually, but I like malty to a fault. So, nice. Excuse me. Where were we? I'm just going back. It looks like Linda had news, but I don't. I'm just going back because I feel like I'm missing stuff here. Whoa, Linda had to put the other dog down last week. Holy crap, Linda. That's not a good few weeks for you. Kelly Simmons in the house. How's it going? Nice to see you. Hi, Mike is off to the swamp with Campfire Steve and the Swamp Camper. Sounds like it's going to be an epic time. How long are you going for, Mike? Tim is, oops. Sorry. Tim is hitting the ocean instead. Also a legit choice. Absolutely. I do like the ocean as well. Hey, Shawnee's here. Whoops. Oh, wow. I almost put her in timeout by accident. I'm using a new wireless mouse, and I feel it's not as exact as my old mouse was. So I was clicking sort of up in the corner instead of in the center of her comment. I was looking on Airbnb in the off-grid countryside category. Might be able to rent something close for $55 a night. I did not know they had an off-grid cabin category. I got to mute myself for a sec. Sorry about that, folks. I did not know they had such a category. Now that I do know they have such a category, I'm going to check that out. Is that like an Airbnb with a Thunderbox? I just got a message on Russell's. I'm not going to look. Whoever just messaged me, I think, was that you, David? This is Russell's merch. This shirt is. Yes, Tim, mine definitely has humidity. Yeah. Everyone's still sort of saying hi. Hi, kids. Just an overnight in the swamp. Okay. Nice. Okay. I didn't know there were lots of off-grid houses on Airbnb. That is cool. Russell is being a brat. Canadian is wearing a Frank Zappa and the Mothers t-shirt. Fair enough. Heck with Mike. I've recently started listening to a podcast called Wild Thing, and the first season, the first season was all about Sasquatch. Second season is all about nuclear power, but I found it fairly interesting. It's a good podcast. I'm just pouring the rest of my beer out here. I listen to many podcasts, many. I would like to listen to more outdoorsy podcasts, but I find that a lot of them are really kind of seat of their pants. Like the sound quality is not great, and so I get irritated halfway through, even if the information is really good. Podcasts that are not like that. I love Paul Kirtley's podcast. There are a couple. I'm blanking on some of the others, but I used to try to get through many podcasts, outdoor podcasts, and I didn't stick with very many of them. What did Tim say? There's my mom, who, by the way, is also a channel member. And as I say about all my channel members, that makes her a personal hero of mine. Okay, so apparently, Ohio apparently has a couple of nice off-grid homes near Hocking Hills State Park. Fair enough. An off-grid Airbnb next to a state or provincial park would be ideal. That sounds really cool. Yes, David just put up the link for where I got this T-shirt. That's Russell's merch store. Feels weird hawking someone else's merch, but I closed down my merch 2 years ago, so you know. Apparently, Russell can vouch for the wine tumbler. Good to know. The Bushcraft wine tumbler. I watched Water Walker again for the umpteenth time yesterday. Actually, I started the night before, got tired, and finished it yesterday while doing the dishes. How many of you guys have seen Water Walker? I know that. Sorry, guys. Hold on. I gotta. I'm pretty sure Pine Martin's seen Water Walker more times than I have. But I was watching that film, and I was struck by how often he fell out of the canoe into the water, and a couple of, especially the one out in Lake Superior, I think it was, that was bloody dangerous. And like he didn't get the canoe until he said, I was confident I could get the canoe the following morning, and all that. And I think I wish everyone who did that kind of film showed themselves having the missteps, because sometimes they're funny to watch, but the value in watching someone who is good enough in a canoe, who is a big friggin' name, bail like that. It's there. It's because what it does is it shows you that everyone fails at staying, right side up every now and again. Everyone goes over, and it's not the end of the world if you do. And there's a canoe school, like a whitewater canoe school somewhere in Ontario, the name of which escapes me right now. But like your first time in the canoe, they make you take a drink. And it's funny because Water Walker it's a previous generation of filmmaking, right? It does not move the way current even documentaries move, right? It's way slower. Like there are shots that will take up most of a song in the non-diegetic music. Am I getting diegetic and non-diegetic mixed up there? Most of a Bruce Cockburn song before they cut to another scene, you know. But you know, it just reminds me of how I could watch Land Before Time with my daughter, and my wife just couldn't. I'm Gen X, and she's millennial, and film is just done differently than it was back then. And so part of why I like watching that film is because of that. Because everything about the film shows A, that people have been paddling in a modern sense for a long time. B, you don't need the kind of Gore-Tex and stuff that we all wear when we're hitting the outdoors. You know, sometimes a pair of jeans and a plaid shirt, no matter what, is still fine in the outdoors. Just I'm lost in the side chat, guys. Oh, Hi, good. Mike says, I'm bringing my kayak out to the swamp on this week's trip. We are going to be at the headwaters of a major river in Central Florida. Nice. Is it like a fast moving river? I am. I'm better on lakes than rivers. I will be absolutely honest with you guys about that. Uh, I'm not. I'm not experienced at river paddling in kayak or in canoe. Like, I think if you dumped me in the middle of a 5-day excursion, I don't know, down the Mississippi or something, obviously not doing the whole thing, but like anything big like that, that's a big honking river, I think it would be dangerous. I don't think I would be prepared. Well, I've paddled on a lot of lakes at this point, mostly kayaking though. Hi, Destiny's here. Destiny, I didn't get a topic set up in time for tonight, so I was just sort of talking about a few sort of general bushcrafty things. I was just mentioning how I watched Water Walker for the umpteenth time recently, and it's free at the NFB website, nfb.ca. It's an old film. It's from the 80s, so it's the kind of thing that not a lot of people watch these days, you know. Where's the search? Water Walker. NFB, your website is terrible. Water Walker. Okay, search. Documentary. Sorry, guys. I thought this was going to be a lot faster. There it is. Water Walker, Bill Mason, 1984. 1 hour, 26 minutes. Let me share that because I know you guys are all just dying to see this old ass movie. Is that the one? Am I showing the right screen? Yes, there we go. Water Walker. It's absolutely free. You just click on it, and then you click on it, and then you can make it full screen or whatever. How's that for an 80s splash screen, eh? I mean, we're not going to watch the whole thing or anything, but they don't make them that way anymore. And it reminds me of old Dick Prenneke movies, right? The stilted way that not Richard Prenneke spoke. What the hell was his name? He is his producer. The hell's his name? Doesn't matter anyway. Mike says the headwaters of this river is a small creek about 7 foot wide and surrounded by cypress trees. Oh, that sounds like a really nice little spot to film. Spanish moss and cypress trees. Sounds amazing. Tim says kayak on the ocean is an experience. Dolphins like to come by, so do sharks if someone paddles out in the channel too far. Yeah, I've never done sea kayaking. I think my sister has once or twice, but I have not. We'll be out in the Green Swamp, which is headwaters of 4 major rivers in Central Florida. Crystal River is from an underground spring. Whales coming by while in a boat is an experience. Yep, that is the truth. Charlie Gordon in the house. How's it going? Welcome to the stream. How are you doing tonight? I'm just bibbling and babbling about general bushcrafty things, paddling things, telling everyone how I just watched Water Walker again. And so now I'm going to probably do a Bill Mason deep dive over the next week or so, because he's got some films out. And I wonder what he would be doing if he was still around. Like, how would his videos have been? Like, how different would his videos be now than when he started? Because, I mean, he's to start that again. Okay. Yeah. Because he's been doing that longer than like Ray Mears was. And if you look at early Ray Mears stuff, it's really different from his more polished later stuff. But he doesn't really cross filmmaking generations the way Bill Mason would have if he were still here. So sometimes I wonder, like, if he were still around and shooting, he would absolutely have a YouTube channel. Like, what would the shooting be like? Would his stuff be like Kevin Callan's? Like when Kevin Callan works with a TV crew? I don't know. Russell says he should populate his pond with a couple of blue whales. That would be awkward. Just taking a look. But I see Charlie's going with Russell's suggestion. Marcus in the house. How's it going, Marcus? Tim says, I look forward to hiking in the Cascades in the Pacific Northwest when we move there. All the rivers and streams. I know I'll not miss the ocean too much. Green nature, trout, and salmon in the rivers. Well, I mean, if you're on the coast, you get both ocean and all that stuff, right? Well, I mean, okay, the Cascades are not the coastal, right? Well, are they? Yeah. Rockies, Cascades. No matter what, in that area, you're within a few hours of a coastline. So, I mean, if you ever decided you missed the ocean, you could probably get yourself a dose for a day. Everyone's just sort of saying hi to each other. I lost my mouse here. Gone. Oh, there we go. I think the beavers would like that. Stupid beaver. If those beavers were any ruder, they'd be like squirrels. We all know how much I love squirrels. You know what I was thinking about the other day? Because, I mean, the wife and I keep talking about maybe getting a couple of kayaks. A kayak does not hold the same place in my headspace and soul space as the canoe does, right? The canoe is the dream boat. The canoe is, the Canadiana thing. You sit in a canoe and, there's a connection with ancient times. And there should be that with the kayak as well. Because if you look at it, it's Inuit canoe. Do you know what I'm saying? It's time honored. It's been there since time immemorial. But to me, the kayak is always sort of paddling about with the family kind of thing. But hitting nature to me is always a canoe. But I was thinking, you never see someone kayaking with a wooden double-ended paddle. Like I have only ever seen aluminum and resin or plastic or Sorry, guys, or whatever. I have never seen anyone kayak with a wooden paddle. I wonder what that is. I mean, the motif is there because the boats are just fiberglass or whatever. But technically, it's the same if you're in like a Novacraft canoe or a Swift or something. But who the hell wants a plastic paddle in a canoe? So, like, the boats themselves have both become very modern. So why is there such a difference in the paddle? Gotta stop yawning. Oh, good night, Mom. Everyone say good night. Russell says that otters are like pond squirrels. Otters are a whole lot cuter than squirrels. Mike says, I was lucky to grow up on the ocean most of my life, and it was wonderful, especially Honeymoon Island in, I don't know how to pronounce, is that Dunedin or is it Dunedin, Florida? Now I like being out in the countryside in the swamps. Dunedin. Dunedin? Hmm. Really? Aquabound makes a wood blade paddle? A wood double blade paddle? Didn't know that. Yeah. I've seen, videos of people like on the YouTubes camping with kayaks. Absolutely. Yeah. Mock's YouTube channel uses a wood canoe and old school techniques. Really great canoeing channel. Part of me would love an old like cedar and canvas canoe, but when I spend my own money, it's going to be expensive because I want lightweight and I want strength. And cedar, canvas, or okay, a birch bark canoe would get me the lightness, but it sure as heck wouldn't get me the robustness. I once shared a long time ago a video by someone whose name I forget, who had built a cedar strip canoe with her uncle. Her uncle does a business of building cedar strip canoes, and I found it fascinating, fascinating to watch. I would love to build a cedar strip canoe at some point, like a 16-footer. Nothing too crazy. I'd have a hard time fitting a 16-footer into my garage to build it, though. It would have to be like a summer project. Absolutely. Dunedin. See, I know all about city or town names in other places. I'm so good with this. Sharon has always done canoeing together, but kayak is great if I just go out by myself. So do you guys use like a, stop it with the yawning? Do you guys use a tandem canoe then? Bow and stern? Tim says, my dad taught me how to canoe. A surfer friend taught me the kayak. I really loved the canoe. Dad and I used to fish the lakes of the upper Midwest in a canoe. Tim, you've been everywhere. Oh, wow. Linda knew guys in Windsor who made skin kayaks. Interesting. Now, for that, you don't use an aluminium and plastic paddle for that. They haven't seen it yet because as soon as my wife saw all that copper, she made me take off the gutter so that we can spray paint it to match, and it's still sitting on the ground. Canadian's cat brought him a chipmunk the other day. Whoops. I did not know this. Dunedin is the Toronto Blue Jays spring training facility, so you probably see Geddy Lee down there all the time. Wait, have we had this conversation? Okay. He was raised in the upper Midwest, Wisconsin, the step before Canada. Yeah. Miss it there sometime, not winter. Fair enough. Absolutely. Yeah. Just taking a look. Not a big baseball fan, so the fact that the Jays are down in Dunedin for training wouldn't necessarily get me to go there. I was about to say something to you guys, and it's gone, but it was going to be worth it. It was going to be brilliant and hilarious. And it's not there anymore. I'm getting old, guys. I'm getting old. I think aside from Bill Mason and Dick Prenicky, who are the other like old school outdoors documentarians? I don't mean old school as in books necessarily. I don't mean like, Gray Owl, but the guys making the videos before the YouTube generation, before even the Ray Mears generation. Like, go back 3 decades. Was it that closed a space that there was only like Bill Mason and before him Dick Prenicky? Like, who am I missing? Who was on TV before everyone, like before the Ray Mears generation and the Les Stroud generation? Came a little later than Ray actually, and the Bear Grylls generation. Like, who happened before them? Because I'm blanking. Warren Miller, says Tenenbaum. I don't know Warren Miller, but I'm gonna go look him up. Linda, yeah, the Baird brothers, they're fabulous, but yeah, they're newer. They're YouTube generation, even if they're doing TV stuff, Red Fisher, right? Yeah, forgot about him. Oh, Miller made skiing films. So same general market space, but not the same section of the market space, right? Still outdoorsy, but not like camping and paddling. Red Fisher. Because like these guys, like Les Stroud and Ray Mears, and even Bear Grylls, like they all have heroes, like Bushcraft heroes, and they all talk about these guys and how they were coming up, and it was a different world. Like, none of these guys were making TV shows. Like, even Lofty Wiseman wasn't making a lot of TV stuff. He put out a book and he was training and giving courses and whatever, and ragging on Ray Mears and Bear Grylls. But I had totally forgotten about Red Fisher. But he seemed to be more of a sports journalist to me. I don't remember him as being the outdoors guy, right? Like, I remember him writing about. I know of him writing about the Habs, kind of thing. He's dead now, I think. Like, fairly recently. But I somebody mentioned Red Fish, and I'm like, boom, this name. But I'm trying to remember him doing anything outdoorsy. Like, it's always just been about sports, I think, for me, anyway. If I have to like rediscover Red Fisher because he was an outdoorsy guy as well, I'm gonna do that because of you guys. I'm gonna do that. Oops, I'm getting a little behind here. Sorry, guys. Sharon says, "Hey Sean, how are you? Is Sean with us? I don't see Sean. Sean, I don't see Sean's name. Sean, if you're here, sound off. I want to say hi to you, like you deserve." Where was I? Red Fisher was famous for drinking water right from the lake or the river. Was okay. Tenenbaum, was Lars Felt like on TV a lot in Sweden? Is he like the Swedish version of one of these guys? Because I mean, yeah, books, courses, and stuff. But I wasn't sure if he was. Well, I mean, I'm looking at this from a North American perspective, right? Everything I know is either Canadian American or British in this market space. So was Lars Felt a lot on TV? Whiskey Harbor in the house. How's it going? Nice to see you. Everyone's saying hi to Sean, but I don't see Sean's name. Am I missing something here? I'm scrolling back. I shouldn't be scrolling back. Never scroll back. I'm just going, oh, there's Sean in Alaska. I am here. LOL. I didn't see your damn name. How's it going? Yeah, so now everyone's probably saying, yeah, he's here. You blind or something, fool? What's in that beer? Steve Lutch did ice canoe races in Quebec. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, but I mean, aside from Dick Prenicky, right? Like, of that generation, or like that generation and the one after, the only names that really spring to mind to me are Dick Prenicky, right? And Crumbs. I forgot his name. I was just talking about him. Why am I forgetting his name? If this is early onset Alzheimer's, tell my wife I loved her. Bill Mason. Like that. Those are sort of the only two names, like before the whole YouTube generation, and before even the Ray Mears generation and the Lars, the Les Stroud generation. I feel that there's a lot of more people. I'm gonna start that sentence again and take two. I feel that there's a lot more people writing books than there are on TV. Lots of YouTubes, right? From bushcraft to survival to off-grid to homesteading to living on a sailboat to, lots of outdoors YouTube stuff. But it's like the TV stuff always ends up being Nat Geo's Doomsday Preppers, right? They're looking for an angle all the time, or it's Alone or something like that. But I'm thinking about back in the day, the guys who became the heroes of the more recent generations. The Bill Masons, the Dick Prenickys, look, there were fewer people making media in the 80s than there are now. Just the nature of the beast. But, I would like to point out that I cannot find my cursor on the screen. There it is. Of course, Russell had to drop something really classy. Jerry's in the house. I mean, Sean Alaska saying hi to Jerry. Yeah, Russell's definitely on fire tonight. All right, Canadian's out for about 5 minutes. I don't know. Like, I rewatched those old things. You know what I've watched a couple of times was kind of really early in Bear Grylls' career. He did this thing where he and a bunch of other British guys spent a few weeks doing the doing an abridged version of the French Foreign Legion training. I watch that every now and again because it's so different than the usual, drinking his piss and jumping out of helicopters stuff. Whenever I mention his name, I feel like I need to footnote that by saying he is entertainment only. I don't watch him for, outdoor skills development. I think that beer might be a little too high octane. Which is weird because it's only 6.5%. I'm not usually put off by alcohol content until you're at like 8%, but like the further down it gets, the more I'm like, meh. Oh, well. And look, at the end of the day, I am clearly going to be this generation's Dick Brennicky or Bill Mason. I am clearly going to go down in history as a titan of the field. Absolutely. So you guys knew me when, okay? Okay, just throwing that out there. Oh, you know what, Charlie Gordon, that is not actually a dumb question. Bear Grylls is, I would call him an extreme outdoorsman and a source of a lot of controversy. I feel kind of through no fault of his own. I remember him being, he was at a show once and doing a Q&A, and someone said, why doesn't Ray Mears like you? Or no, what's the story between you and Ray Mears? And he gave the best answer of any of those guys. I've said this to you guys before, and I'll say it again. There's no excuse for the way Lofty Wiseman talks about Ray Mears and Bear Grylls. There's no excuse for any of these guys to be taking each other down. There's no excuse for Les Stroud, bless his dark little heart, to be dissing everyone else. I think these guys should all be in it together. These guys are all great. They're all great. Bear Grylls is great as a Hollywood-ass piece of entertainment, okay? Ray Mears is great because he's my absolute bushcraft hero in many, many ways. His videos are not only calming and interesting, but informative. There's science. There's a respect for traditions and indigenous ways. It's just, for me, he is the pinnacle. Les Stroud, very different space, but equally good. He's very impressive. He knows exactly what he's doing out there. He clearly loves the outdoors. He loves what he is doing. And if you watch his stuff, you will learn something. Watch any of this primarily for entertainment purposes. Bear Grylls, only watch for entertainment purposes. He's the guy, because he's very flash. He's very sort of dramatic. His solutions to certain situations are very often a solution in search of a problem. He drank his own piss once. He gave himself an enema once. It's just like a saltwater enema. Like, it's just extreme cable TV level. Very Hollywood, very sort of. He's got this series on, I don't know if it's BBC or whatever, or Discovery or whatever, where he takes a celebrity on like a survival trip. He took President Obama once. He's taken many British stars, and I find that fun. Like that's sort of the space where I think Bear is the best, because he's such a nice guy. That watching him play off of people like that is really, really cool. Like when they're like scared of trying something and he's like, no, man, it's great. And they're like, yeah, but you flipped backwards out of a helicopter with no chute. See, I know, but it's still, don't worry. But the thing, what I was going to say about Bear Grylls, what I was impressed by the most is somebody asked him, what the problem was. And his answer was, I don't know. I don't know why Ray doesn't like me. I think he's great. And his answers to that kind of question always show me that behind the extreme entertainment dude bro, in some ways he's the classiest of the bunch because he never talks. I have never heard him talk bad about another outdoors slash bushcraft slash survival personality. And he's the only one. He's the only one. And I'm a guy who loves Ray Mears. Like some people love Oxygen, okay? But you're all on the same team. It's just you don't know it. You're all screwed if nobody is interested in the outdoors anymore. You're all very powerful people getting people interested in being out in the outdoors. And the knock-on effect of that is that some of these fandoms are like football hooligans, comparatively. They're not that bad, but man, we should all be pulling on the same oars. We should all be pushing for the same things. We should all be giving each other props rather than taking each other down. Now, is it politics what I just said? Is it political to say that we shouldn't hate each other? It feels that way these days, but I'm old school. So, I think that it's just common sense. Bear Grylls did get a lot of flack because someone saw him and his crew sleeping in a hotel room at one point. But in all fairness, and he in fact said that if in the episode he's sleeping outdoors, he sleeps outdoors, but he never said that he slept outdoors all the time while shooting. So I kind of feel that was a manufactured controversy. I mean, someone in this chat has probably mentioned that by now. Let me just. Oh man, I missed a lot. Sorry, guys. David is David. Charlie, David's got your back. Ian the Web Lord, how's it going? Yeah, so what Sharon says here is good. They all do their own things in different ways, absolutely, and that's the beauty of it, right? The outdoors. I keep calling it a market. I hate that word, but the outdoors sort of scene, huh? The outdoors scene. It's so big and so inclusive if we let it be. And there's so many different angles to bring and still bring goodness to people's eyes and ears. Even in YouTube, look, I definitely do not do the same thing as Scrambled O did. If anybody here knows him, get him to start making videos again. I definitely don't do the same damn thing as Dave Canterbury. But in spite of that weird little controversy around him, I'm not going to take him down. He's putting out good content. He's putting out educational content. Dan Wowak is putting out educational content. I do believe that if he and I sat down for a beer and talked politics, we would not agree on anything. But he's bringing out good content. Absolutely. And I'm old school, so if we don't agree on politics, so long as he's not a Nazi, I'm going to be okay with that. I'm just throwing that out there in case I sounded... But like, there's so much land to till in this scene. There's so much stuff to bring out that, yeah, and they should be doing their own things from their own angles. Absolutely. Yeah, I know, Jerry. It's just when you're a personality in a scene, I don't believe we're here to hurt each other. I mean that I don't believe we're here to walk into a synagogue and open up with, but I also mean, I don't think we're here to insult each other and this is why I almost never leave a negative comment on anyone else's videos. Right? If I have nothing to say that is good and constructive, or if I'm not going to come across as a cheering section for whoever put their heart and soul into a video, I'm not going to say anything. I will move on. If somebody's channel I find is sort of, if they're doing something all of a sudden that I just don't agree with, I just move on. I don't troll them on the way out. I just, we live in a world where we're surrounded. Man, if you're on Facebook, guys, or Twitter, it's like you're surrounded by what I call the recreationally outraged. And so the way I deal with that is I try not to fall into that. I try not to rip people down. I mean, there are people who I think need a good rinse, but I don't do it. I don't. I want to bring the light wherever I go. Whenever I reach out to touch someone in their comments, I want it to be something that will leave them feeling like, yeah, you know, I will leave constructive criticism if I believe that someone might be going to hurt themselves if they don't change, or if I think that someone, you know, you're doing great, try J cuts, right? That's as far as I'll go. I have virtually never, and by the way, I have a history of being a major asshole. Okay. I used to own my inner arsehole like you guys would not believe. So this is the kind of, it's a newish philosophy for me, and I struggle with it because my first instinct is to just rip someone a new arsehole. Because of course it is. I feel like I'm going too far down the rabbit hole on this. So I'm just gonna move on. Russell says, I'd have to be really desperate for ratings before I start drinking pee. Yeah, I'm not planning to start drinking urine either. Absolutely not. Wait. Somebody said something hilarious and I missed it because everything jumped. I did a coffee enema once, black, no cream, no sugar. It was rough. Yuck. Well, in any case, when your skin is feeling rough, you add a little cream. Everything jumped again? Why? Why is it doing that? Shike. I was about to say something else, but I skipped it. Kristen Grounds is here. Nice to see. Christy. I don't know. Are you Kristen or Christy? Because oh, no. Did I just put someone in timeout by accident? No, I did not. Raptor Ranch. How's it going? Northern Wisconsin. What's the weather like there tonight? Welcome to the live stream. I hope you didn't just show up in time for me to be boring you with my bibble and babble about not ripping people's new arseholes in their comment sections. I believe that Kristen should be called Christy, but I'm not entirely sure about that. Oh, Charlie, was that a good turn of phrase? You may use it. You don't even have to footnote me. I'm throwing it out there. No copyright, no nothing. You can use it. The angry man defeats himself in battle as well as in life. A samurai saying that I have never forgotten. That is, I should have that tattooed to the inside of my eyelids or something, because I'm someone who has a constant underpinning of anger. And I'm not going to TMI you guys, but like, I'm always pissed off. And I try to sort of, I try to tone it down. I try to sort of breathe. I try to see the good in life. Okay, Kristen does normally go by Christy. All right, I will endeavor to not mess that up. 69, lots of so I guess that means 69 degrees. That would be degrees freedom. Anyone mathematical here could tell me what that is in degrees Canadian? And lots of mosquitoes, I think. Oh, good old mosquitoes. They drive me crazy. Okay, I thought my wife was telling me something. Is this coffee enema going to just be part of the thread of tonight's conversation? Mike, I know you're mellow. I am mellow, and the power of mellow is when you get angry, it shocks people. It is a wonderful power to have when you are mellow. It's funny to hear you say that, because I've been wondering if you are as you are in those videos, like the mellow minutes or Zen moments. What are they called? Like, I've been wondering if that is who you are or if you're sort of mellowing out for those videos. My video for this Friday is it's kind of a mellow minute in some ways. I told you guys a while ago that I was going to try to do a few more of those videos where I'm just doing something and kind of not talking too much to the camera, just sort of zoning out a bit. So this Friday's video is kind of along those lines. The way you do them is really nice, though. It's real simple, real sort of pure. I like it a lot. Like, your videos are a moment of zen, the way my sort of mellow moments kind of are not. Okay, so it's 20 degrees. 20 is nice. I like 20. 20 to 23. I'm happiest between 18 to 23. I don't know what that is in degrees freedom, but I don't like it when 25 I can do, but once you start getting to like 28, roving real steady towards the 30s, I get a little less happy with each degree. And I do like it when it's a little cool, especially, man, if it's a slightly chilly night, you kind of got to put a fire on. Yeah. Nice fire, nice cup of whiskey. Maybe got a light sweater on, looking at the stars. Man, I do not live in the right area. See, now I'm angry again. Charlie says, okay, Jesse, you don't want to mess up Christy's name. Who are you? Yeah, I know. I think you banged me and Christy at the same time there. Mike says, I'm true and straight in my videos and my philosophy. I've always been a mellow fellow, except when I was a lead singer in a hair band back in the day. I was in my first sort of serious band. I come more from a punk / ska background, okay? But I was in a metal band. Well, I always sort of told people they couldn't really be metal because there were way too many chord changes. But these days, there's a lot of really musically intelligent metal. But anyways, I was in this metal band. Yes, okay, I know where I'm going with this. And we were sort of in the early 90s. Were we even earlier than that? No, like really early the dawn of the 90s, the end of the 80s, dawn of the 90s kind of thing. So a lot of hair bands, a lot of, you'd walk into a metal bar or whatever, and there was a lot of big hair. And I just remember I was standing there. Man, I had this bass that you guys would not believe. It was a Gibson Thunderbird, not the Epiphany Thunderbird, the actual Gibson Thunderbird made of mahogany. It weighed like 1,000,000 pounds. The neck on those things, I'll never buy a Gibson again, but the neck on those things was, it was 1982. Back in the 60s, they had them with like the big cloverleaf tuners. Like, hold on. They had these big honking tuners on them. And then the Thunderbird went away for a while. And when it came back, it had those weird little Y-shaped tuners that more modern basses have. And just not the same. Just not the same. But the reason they did that is the Thunderbird had a real problem with neck dive. Anyways, so I always wished I'd had like a late 60s one, but hello expensive. Anyway, so I'm standing there on stage. Sorry, the bass was just an aside. I'm standing there on stage. I'm looking out, and there's all these hair bands, and for some reason, like, so I'm just and I look at and all these people. I just had this image of like flicking a match into all that hairspray and watching like concentric, jumping from heads to heads in concentric circles moving outwards. And that stupid image has not left me since. That was a good band. I mean, they were good guys, and they were all music students, right? So I worked my ass off. But yeah, I haven't played metal since that band. I've done like blues, I've done electric blues, done some ska, a lot of folk, and now I'm in a Celtic rock band. But why were we talking about that? Oh yeah, because Hike with Mike was saying that the only time he wasn't mellow was singing for a hair rock band. Boom, boom, boom. Where the hell are we? Oh, everything jumped. Christy is. Oof. Oh yeah, but you live on the surface of the sun, right? Are you Arizona or Nevada? No, no matter where it is, this is not the season for me to be there. But I'd like to point out that Russell's got your back. Is that the end of the beer? That's the end of the beer. I want to say this first. Raptor Ranch says, I like it chilly here. It keeps the bugs away. Yeah, fair enough. But Charlie says, -40 to +20, no wind, me happy. You and me, we would get along fine. I'm kind of the same. Yeah. I like -20 is no problem. -34, I'm like, oh, wow. I'm not enjoying life. But thank you for pointing out the low humidity, because I'll tell you, in Montreal, we don't have low humidity. Like, I spend all summer stuck to the bed sheets. You know, you get up in the morning, it's like, oh God, I hates it. How do you even know this? SpongeBob and Patrick had a campfire on the bottom of the ocean. You can do this. Yeah. I got my Q7 ozone depleting hairdo back in the day. I had a mohawk, so no judgment here. Boom, 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 boom. I'm just trying to. Everything jumped again, so I'm like, oh. Charlie says concentric hairspray explosions. Only a musician would think of that. They're so creative. Well, it's just when Charlie, I don't know if you play, but anyone who does play, like, there are three, I guess. Are there three? Yeah, there are three distinct views of a crowded bar. There are the patrons who are getting drunk and loud, and like as soon as you add a lot of beer, everyone's like a dime a dozen, right? Everyone's differences merge into, oh, you're that guy. You know, everyone's too loud, too stupid, too obnoxious. But there are the people who are there having a good time. There are the people who work there serving the pints, pouring the pints, or serving the pints, who have a very different view of that group than the group itself does. And then you have musicians, and the view you have of a bar. Start again. The view you have of a bar from the stage is unique, and it's a little jaded. It's a little jaded because you see the people who are just having a good time, and some of them are going over the edge, and you see the staff putting on their service smiles and all that stuff. But you don't necessarily see the regulars the way the staff does. You know what I'm saying? To you, you've got this separation from it in most of your gigs. If you end up with, like, now we're almost a house band. We got like a monthly thing at the biggest Irish pub in town. So, I mean, we're starting to see regulars come back and everything. And it's nice to see friendly faces, but the tea is cold. But so, like, I think that distance you get when you look at a mass of bobbing hairband fans, it's a little more abstract. And so it's easier to think of, like, just fire a match into the middle of that and just watch it. I'm a cruel man because I think that's a funny thought. No, can't do it. Like, can't do that kind of. If I ever go down and see you in Florida, if I can ever go to Florida, it'll be in like February. Yeah, the tea's cold. It's all right though. It's still tea. And because you're Floridian, of course, you're good with the humidity. When I was a kid and my old stomping grounds were Vancouver, it got pretty hot in the summer, but it was not a humid heat. And so I was fine with it. Absolutely fine with it. David is having whiskey with no E. I like it. Good man. I will not be having. Okay. Yeah, I said that for everyone to see. Moving right along. I will not be having whiskey tonight. I'm trying to sort of get quality sleep. And the whiskey will not do that. And here's Charlie throwing us a curveball. I hear sex and high humidity is fun, but I don't know. I don't think or talk like that. It depends on how much you like the smell of sweat, I guess. Cliff is asking if this is a safe place to be if one was a fox. This is a safe space for everyone, Cliff. We're a safe space here. No matter who you are, we accept you. Foxes, chickens, foxhounds, chicken hawks. Everyone is welcome. You can make of that what you will. Raptor Ranch says, in 74, we girls had a garage band. Led Zeppelin, Kansas, Joe Walsh. I love the 70s guitar. Yeah. Yeah, there was a magic to 70s. I think not on the rock side, but sort of on the acoustic guitar side, there was a whole series of chords that if you hear some or chord progressions that just scream the 70s. Like some old Joni Mitchell songs have them, some like Offenbach songs. Well, I guess you guys don't know Offenbach because you're not from Quebec, but like there's a 70s acoustic guitar sound that I just love. I absolutely adore. On the rock side, there's, every decade has its sound. I very much came of age sort of with 80s music, like 80s alternative and goth stuff. I say 80s, but you know how like the 60s happened in 1968 to 1972 kind of thing, and the 70s kind of happened a little later, and then the 80s kind of happened creeping towards the 90s, but like I do love bands like The Cure, like Endoshin, excuse me, which you guys wouldn't know Endoshin, but like New Order, bands like that. And my daughter was listening to some dude, Harry Styles, in the car the other day. And it's amazing how many of those old sounds are popping up in his music if you know like how to listen for them, like guitar tones, guitar strumming patterns, bass tone, the instrumentation, some of the keyboards. Like clearly this guy has a thing for that era, like old Joy Division, or well, more New Order than Joy Division. Like we're not talking 808 State, we're talking more like the more radio friendly kind of. I don't know the word I'm looking for because I want to go to bed. But why are we talking about music? How did this turn into a music live stream? I mean, I can talk your ear off about music, but I don't know if 18 people are watching me blather on about this. That's crazy. And we're after 10 o'clock, and Russell still hasn't invaded my live stream. Now I'm wondering what's going on in the world. What's going on? Sandsock, evening, guys. How's it going, Sandsock? Nice to see you. Oh, everything jumped. Why do you jump? Why do you jump? Oh my land, it jumped. How late was I? Christy says, starting June to September, we have monsoon season. Humidity along with 100 degrees. So is that in like the 30s? Wait, 100 is 40, right? Only way to survive is the pool or in the house. Yeah, absolutely. Raptor still has a first guitar. Oh, that's cool. I do not have my first guitar or my first bass. My first bass was a cheesy Korean knockoff of a Fender P bass. Oh, what? Mike says, we always had other bands stealing our stuff when we would perform. I had several microphones stolen. Man, that is not the way of it in our circuit at all. The bands here absolutely watch out for each other. I would be angry about that. I would never think to steal from another musician. Cliff says, "Hey, Russell, Sam Jackson just landed in your Discord. How come he's not here hanging with all of us?" Cliff says, "For all my Canadian brothers and sisters and Russell, it was 37.2 degrees Canadian today. Nice." Nice. I've lost my. There it is. It is. Sandsock says it is mid 70 in Ohio. We hit 90 last week. Big cold front blew in. So, sorry. I was gonna mute myself. Excuse me. I gotta mute. That's seasonal allergies, by the way. Drives me up the wall. Where was I? Raptors having homemade wine. Nice. Is that like wine kit, or did you start with grapes? I used to live in one of the little Italies in Montreal. It was called Saint Raymond. It's a neighborhood of all Italian. And when the grapes were in season, those some people grew their own grapes, but you can't eat a lot of grapes to make a vat of wine, or like a 24 or a 48 or however many bottles of wine they make. So when it was in season, the local grocery store would order in so many grapes, like crates of them lined up outside the store, like 8 crates high kind of thing. And these guys would all, they would come and they'd taste the grapes. Yeah, we'll take some of those and we'll take some of those. And they would make their wine. And of course, it would taste like garbage. But it was a winemaking tradition. And if the wine was allowed to age rather than like drunk right away, it was pretty good. But I just remember at that point, I was like, why would you go through all the effort? And now I would be like, yeah, I would go through all the effort, because the pageantry of the making is part of the joy for me. You guys who've been watching me forever know this. Those of you who are a little newer might not, but I'm so into the process of doing stuff. It's why when I'm cooking, if I have to chop nuts, I use a knife instead of a malaxer, whatever that's called in English. You know those machines that whirl. Excuse me. But these days, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to start making wine because that's not where I want my process to be. But it's part of the reason why if I won 30 million, I would buy a still and make a couple of barrels of whiskey, like from stem to stern. Start with the barley because I enjoy the creative process. Part of that is because I had my mind utterly polluted by art school from when I was like 4 until I was about 15 or 16. Even later, actually, because I went to I went to film school in university. So, but I do love process. Charlie's having beer. Rapture's having Eric Clapton. Charlie would like some Eric Clapton. And Cliff is not great with musical knowledge. But if we're just getting drunk here, he's game. That's fine. That's fine. It's not supposed to be a musical live stream. A music live stream. I mean, but it's interesting stuff. Mike says, it's a space for me tonight. Usually I stress watching live stream because I had to get up at 5 for school, but now school's out for summer. Like the Alice Cooper song. I can stay up. I'd forgotten that you were an educator. I'm not an educator, but I am the chair of the governing board at my daughter's school. And I am glad to see this year ending this month because I am so done with that particular job. I got Camille signed up for a video camp she likes to go to, a video making camp. And then we're going to do a little trip, I think. And then after the summer's over, I'm going to go see Russell. Raptors. I'm so old. I've seen the Sex Pistols. I have not. I never got to see the Sex Pistols because I was way too young for that. I did get to see the Ramones twice, though. And I saw the Police when they did their reunion tour. That's always going to be a great story. Canadian's got a tattoo of a squirrel. I can't do it. I cannot handle. I can't. Somebody send that guy to hell. A squirrel, really? Why you got to be like that? Why not a tiger or a lion or a bear? Oh my. Sharon says, if we all get drunk, not much knowledge is out there. It jumped. Raptor blueberry wine tonight from 2021. Nice. Oh man. Do not send me the squirrel tat picture. I will not appreciate it. Linda likes scorpions. Okay, nice. You never need to mention it again. I do not appreciate your squirrel tattoo. Mike says, if you are a metalhead, check out my buddy's documentary, Here I Go Again. It is a funny doc, and they use some of my film work on the doc. I'm taking note of that. Video camp, yeah. Video camp, yeah. It's they every 2-week period they make a small movie. They write it, they act in it, they shoot it, they edit it. It's pretty good. They also have a March break, March break camp. She's been going for a while. She likes it. My cousins like to shoot them at the lodge, so it's an inside joke having the squirrel giving the finger. I would, if I shot a squirrel here, I would be in massive, massive trouble. In Quebec, you can't not touch them without a trapper's license. Okay, there's a lot of people discussing age. And it's nice to see you guys like 62, 67, because, I'm only, am I even 2 weeks into being 50 yet? And I was feeling real old, and now I'm feeling like the young guy of the group again. So thank you. Thank you, folks. I would like to, I think I mentioned this in the last live stream as well. Linda kind of outdid me in the channel logo department because she got a metal version of her logo, I guess laser cut or something. And I've been thinking about doing something similar ever since. My plan at some point when we redo this basement is I'm going to build part of it into like a faux studio, like have some kind of background and have my big honking logo, have the logo behind me. I think that'll be really cool. I think when Canadian says he puts them in past us, I think he might be talking about squirrels. Yeah, Mike, I'm also Gen X. I'm at the trailing end of Gen X. Sand soccer, I don't know. I think we're being relatively serious, but not too serious. Do you have something you want to talk about, provided it's not boomsticks or politics? Any of the things that'll get me YouTube dinged? Oh yeah, I should. No, I shouldn't. Even if I had a license, you can't kill them in Montreal. You can't even trap them in like those humane traps and take them somewhere else. You cannot touch them. Russell is on a tear tonight. I want a cut metal logo that can be seen from space. Sharon keeps changing her logo. Whoops. This mouse sucks. I keep changing our logo. Cannot like anything yet. Then something like Linda has done with the metal sign will be done. I don't love either of the logos I use for my channel. Like, the one that you guys see down in this corner. Boom, right there. I should probably click on the YouTube page to see if you guys are actually seeing that logo, right? Yes. That's the simplified version of the logo that shows up every video, like at the beginning of every video. I don't love either of my logos, but they're kind of entrenched now. Like, they're both so much better than my original channel logo. Do any of you guys remember my original channel logo? I thought it was going to be so brilliant. It's literally, hold on. It's a white pine from a Group of 7 painting that I very poorly did. Being a good Canadian, I do love me some Group of 7. And it wasn't the Tom Thompson. It was the AJ Casson's white pine. So, and I just did such a piss poor job because I didn't copy it exactly because I was afraid of copyright. So I have not yet shared the screen. Hold on a second. So I did sort of in the spirit for my logo and simplified the crap out of it, and it just looked terrible. There's a Group of 7. So that white pine, that's the AJ Casson. That's the one I patterned my original logo on. I thought I was being so like Canadiana and everything. Stupid. But it just ended up sucking. And I didn't have the energy to come up with a new logo for several years, because that was my logo from 2013 till 2017. I don't know. I don't remember when I changed it up to the new one. But and at the end of the day, they work. I don't love my logos, but they work. If I was to make a patch or a sticker, I would probably do the simplified one, I think. Wow, Raptors got Gen X kids. Canadian says Squirrel small game in Ontario. Nice. Here it's fur bearing. Sandsock, what is it with the kids 27 to 34? They're scared to get married. They don't date. I'm concerned about the youth. Look, I live in a province where the divorce rate is over 50%. So I understand where anyone is coming from when they don't want to sign the paper. I get it. As for not dating, yeah, that would. I didn't really. No, I did. Like, I know where you're coming from, but I also know where they're coming from in some ways. I'm too old to really know where they're coming from, but I think it seems that when you're talking to someone who's like 27, they're always just going on about their side hustle. You know, it's like, oh, I don't want to care. Don't tell me about your side hustle. Just enjoy your hobbies. Don't turn them into side hustle. It doesn't have to make you money. Just enjoy it. Side hustle be damned. Which is not what you're talking about, but it's just, you're reminding me that, like, oh, these kids. And maybe that's it. Maybe they're not dating because it gets in the way of their side hustle or their career as an influencer. Oh man, I'm feeling jaundiced. I'm so jaded. I'm jaundiced. I'm yellow with jadedness. Hardly any squirrels. They got a train to Montreal. Yeah, maybe. Charlie Gordon says, I think some people just like to say squirrel. Have you ever heard someone from like Edinburgh try to say squirrel? Find yourself a Scot and say, hey, how do you say squirrel? And if it's someone who's not from like the Highlands, if it's someone who's from like a big ass town where there's a big, thick accent, you're in for some hilarity. Russell says, oh man, weirdest thing. I just opened a beer with my right hand and I usually use my left hand. Felt like someone else was doing it. Okay, Russell. You want to hang out for the last half hour?
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you're on screen. You're hanging.
You're not as fun when you don't break open a bottle of something.
Yeah, but I gotta sleep. I was a zombie today.
You're almost asleep now.
I'm not. I'm jibber jabbering.
I don't think you'll have any trouble sleeping tonight, Jess.
No. Yeah, Canadian, I was mentioning that, and I think I'd asked Linda. I think I asked you where you got it, but it was someplace local that I couldn't just order something like that off the interwebs. Eh?
I got a fella.
You got a fella?
I think the wizard can have that done for me.
Oh, really? Is the wizard all hooked up like that?
Like, he doesn't do it himself, but he has a guy.
He has a guy.
Or a girl. I'm not sure.
Okay, that's good to know. Everything just jumped. Everything bloody jumped. I don't know where I am. So I'll just go straight to the bottom. Did anyone say anything that I need to? Hey, look who's here.
Jim.
Hey, Jim. Driving home. Going to drive with my other hand. It'll seem like someone else is driving. So I guess he got here in time to see that comment. Jim,
no, it was weird. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, shoot. What the hell's happening now?
That's right. Did I show you this? Did I show on Sunday or something? This cup I got from Ardbeg Day?
No.
So I won a T-shirt. Ardbeg, as some of you know, is one of my favorite whiskey producers, Scotch producers.
I do know that.
Excuse me. And they invited me to an event. And they had these games, and I played a game, and I won a T-shirt, and I saw these cups, and I said, so what game did I have to win to get the cup instead? And he said, give me the T-shirt. You can have the cup. So I was like, yes, because I love enamel. I love enamel. You had
to give the T-shirt back to get the mug. Well, you're not playing your YouTube game very well.
Oh yeah, but the thing is, my Scotch channel is like, it's not even 200 subs yet, right? So I can't push the I'm an influencer angle over there just yet.
It doesn't matter. I mean, do the thing I do. I'm a celebrity.
I'm a celebrity. What's okay, do? Yes. I was going to ask Jim, when you're driving home, because every now and again, someone will be live streaming and I want to listen while I'm driving. But if the cops stop me and, are we doing music tonight?
You know it, dog.
Like if the cops stop me and they see that I've got a phone with like a YouTube video open and going, I'll be in mucho trouble. So like, do you like turn the phone around, or does your phone let you listen to a YouTube without? I don't know.
Is it in a holder when you're? Oh, geez. Of course, because you're watching something. But you can turn the screen off though, right?
But I don't know if like turning off the screen. Like for instance, if I just listen to our live stream on this phone of mine, on this telephone, let me find the YouTube.
Like on my iPad, I can start we do this all the time. I start up a lo-fi music thing, and then I close down, or I don't close down YouTube. I minimize YouTube, and the music still plays, and the screen goes dark.
Really? Okay, because I've got something playing on the YouTubes right now. Okay, so if I do this to make the screen go dark,
it might be a setting.
oh, so it's a setting. Okay,
Yeah, that's an Apple phone.
yeah.
Of course.
So however you do it, I can probably do it. I just don't know how to do it. Is what you're saying? You're saying I'm stupid.
I don't.
Technological imbecile is what
I was gonna say no, but there's probably been a few times. But anyway, I don't know what setting it is, but I know on my iPad that's what we do, because I don't want to sit there using up battery while just because I want to listen to some music.
All right. Okay.
This song is called "Night Driving" for Jim.
I like this. Is Fox at the Cliff Clavin just his live stream? Man, you are on fire tonight.
It was because of what he just said.
Yeah. I was gonna click on it, but everything jumped, so I don't. Anyway.
It was. Oh yeah. Here. Oh wait.
Oh yeah. No.
Oh sorry. No, that's Christy.
No, that's Christy.
Although I did have a great response to that. Okay, so did you see that one?
Yeah. Off-grid cabin is. Okay, there's a whole conversation about what exactly is Gen X happening in the side chat. Everything just.
Yeah, we're Gen X.
Cheers was like reality TV for Gen X, day drinking till the liver failure. It's funny.
There was some great stuff from Cheers. I used to watch Cheers all the time.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, shows like that and like Three's Company and I don't know how many other shows, it was all in the writing. There was some really inspired writing going on back then.
Three's Company was really uneven though.
Three's Company is one of those shows I watched. It was I caught reruns in my late 20s or maybe early 30s, and I thought, oh, okay, this is cool. I haven't watched this since I was like a kid.
Yeah.
And I'm watching the episode going, oh my god, I'm so embarrassed. It's all about sex.
Yeah.
I was so embarrassed. My face was going red. Like, is it really? This is normal back then?
Yeah. It's funny. Rob on the internet says, I think you have to have premium or whatever it's called to turn it off and still have it play. Oh, is that it? I gotta look into this.
Oh, maybe? Oh, YouTube Premium? I have YouTube Premium, but I didn't think that was the case.
I don't know. Christy says, I should ask this on your whiskey channel, Jess, but how do you pronounce this? I would call that Glenmorangie. When I first got into whiskey, I would have called it Glenmorangie, but that is wrong. It's Glenmorangie. Oh. I saw that, but I figured we were gonna just slip right on past it. Jim says he turns the phone. Oh, he turns the screen all the way down and lays it face down on the seat. Okay. What the hell is raining like a cow? Oh, raining like a cow, pissing on a flat rock. Okay.
Oh yeah. You don't want to be in your account when it's doing that.
Fair enough. Okay, and Linda's telling Sharon about when she videoed her new sign. Yeah, it's a cool sign. When I have like this whole thing set up and I've got like wood paneling or something behind me, I'm gonna want some kind of like, I don't want to just print my logo out on my inkjet, cut it out, and no, I want it to look nice. Look nice, you know, a little nice. It's gonna be expensive.
Yeah, I've seen. Every time I scroll back, I see this one. I'm like, there's a bug on my screen.
Yeah, that's weird. What is that? Is that?
I don't know what that is.
Water.
Yeah, have you ever seen? Oh my god, I went to a circus. Only once in my entire life I went to a circus. I was probably in my 30s at the time. Maybe in my 20s. Doesn't matter. Anyway, they had elephants there, and it was like there was one guy's job. He had two garbage pails, like big garbage pails, full size. And you'd watch the elephants, and when the elephant went to take a piss, he'd run over one of the garbage pails and throw it under there, and it was like a fire hose coming out, right? And like, you know, splashing and everything. I'm like, oh my god, look at that thing! And then the elephant went to take a dump, so he went and grabbed the other garbage can, put it under, and it's like, boom, boom, boom. I'm like, this is this guy's job. He's an elephant poop catcher.
When one thinks about running away to join the circus, it's very rarely that, which they think.
I totally remember he's running over with the other thing and a boom.
Yikes. I've seen the circus a lot, but I've never seen a circus with animals in it. I've only ever seen the Cirque du Soleil.
Oh yeah, I think I saw that once.
I've seen it like 500,000 times. Well, because they do their shows down at the waterfront here in the old port before they take them on tour and stuff. Did he? Okay, you do it.
I think he was just wearing like coveralls. He wasn't. Yeah.
I'm just imagining Bear Grylls. Yeah, elephant pee. Here I go.
I wrote that into one of my screenplays. These guys looking for jobs. No, I don't want to be an elephant poop catcher.
Who does? Really, who does? Okay, so that would be a
maybe
weird
he gets
job.
quality time.
Yeah, with what?
The elephant.
But how do you respect the elephant after all that? Don't give me attitude. I catch your poop. I'm just gonna take that off. Mike, you just reminded me of. I used to have a
Political.
Yeah, it's a little political. So I don't want to dive into it too much. But I do have an episode of my old vlog where I go to the Bronx Zoo with my daughter, and I sort of dive into that a little bit in that. If you do want to see that episode and maybe discuss somewhere off screen, I wouldn't mind, because I have a philosophy of that, and it's nothing if not confused. My philosophies don't always make sense, but they work for me. Really? Charlie's apparently Russell's not the only one who's on fire tonight.
Yes, quick, grab your base.
Yeah, that is me actually. You know, apparently. Oh yeah, I was waiting for somebody. To bring that guy up. Do you know Mike Rowe?
I know the name. Hold on, let me refresh.
He had like a whole series on it. It's got to be Discovery, of like dirty jobs.
Oh, yeah,
This song makes me wish I had a couple of glow sticks.
Yeah, I can imagine the dirty jobs, like those guys that have to unclog the sewers in big cities. Yeah, yep. I can imagine. We probably don't need to go down that road.
No. I think anything other than that would be preferable, to be straight with you. Look, I have a knife. He said, as a subject change, just waiting to happen.
Shit. I got my spoon.
Okay, I have a knife, you have a spoon. Someone in the side chat has a fork. We're well prepared.
Damn it, where's the other knife?
He's gonna find it somewhere. Meanwhile, do you have a knife?
Yeah, I must have been playing with it on the couch. Is that the same one you just showed? The S4?
Yeah. Yeah, number 4, yeah.
Sorry, the number 4. Yeah, my number 1 is on my belt, on my pants.
My number 1 is in the back room somewhere. I've heard that Mike Rowe is a pretty cool guy if you follow. Maybe I should give that a... Oh, my land. The pea spoon is over here now.
Yeah, we're not...
never dies.
I think that was from your last live stream. Yeah, we should let that one die. We really should.
But it's never going to die. Because we want it to die, it will never die.
We're going to try to let it die.
Mike knows what he's talking about. I've said this before. Bassists are the best backup singers. It is hard to sing and play bass at the same time. It's a whole different beast than doing it with guitar.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Why? Is it a rhythm thing?
Rhythm thing, and also a melody thing, because you're not just playing chords. You're playing an actual line. And so playing one line, singing a different line, it can really spin your head.
So Geddy Lee is even more impressive than we think he is?
Oh, yeah. Listen, I do not like Rush, but I am impressed as hell by Rush. What he does is epic.
You don't like Rush?
I do not love Rush, and it's purely because of Geddy Lee's voice. The musicianship is amazing, but I have a real hard time. I have the same problem with Led Zeppelin. Great band, but I had a real problem with the voice.
I can understand that. I can understand that position. Yeah.
Oh, that's not what I meant to click on, but it's funny, so.
Here, we gotta...
You saw that too? Macro is doing Saints work, talking life to kids. I remember when we were like, hey, there's music here. When we did that private live stream, we were both like, this sounds zen.
Yeah, there's some... Let's try this.
Oh, yeah.
For other people watching, we feel that the addition... Okay, so StreamYard added some songs that you can play, which is kind of nice, so everybody hears them at the same time. Yeah, that's cool. We feel that maybe this is a prelude to you adding your own playlist into StreamYard, which would be awesome. Like your Spotify playlist or whatever.
If they can work out the whole copyright issue.
Or is it night driving? Hold on.
Night driving.
Oh, okay. There we go.
This one about 2 decibels lower would be would be good.
Well, we can change it. We can turn the volume down a little bit. It's at 50, so 47.
Sure.
I don't know if that's decibels. It's just well, it's a number out of 100.
Right.
So that's not decibels. Let me turn it down to 40.
40 might be a little too. Actually, 40 is pretty good. What do you guys think? Is this like the new sound with the Rain Dance Bushcraft live stream?
If you're getting up and dancing right now,
yeah,
and
oh, Christy's saying we both have the Night at the Roxbury head bob going.
I broke the window again.
Yeah.
%. Thanks for that, Caroline.
Yep. Charlie is not loving the music.
Come on, this is good. This is good grooving.
No, Cliff, it's okay. We don't have to see that. Linda never liked Rush either. What? But I thought everybody liked Rush except me. Such a good band in so many ways. I just wish Geddy Lee's voice was different. Yeah, Christy, I feel the same way because it fits more with my channel motif and my personal musical taste. But they didn't really offer that. Maybe I should just make one long loop of myself playing the bar on. Thuppity, 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 thuppity. and put it like real quiet. So it's just like this weird like heartbeat thing in the background. Thumpity, 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 thumpity. Like almost not noticeable. And every now and again someone will say, "What is that noise?"
I'm gonna say no to that. Here.
I think I get great ideas. What's that from? What the hell?
One night when we were at Bushcraft, I got told Cinderella to draw a happy face, and this is what came out. So she keeps this handy just in case she needs to use it again. Hold on a second here. Mike says, I fell asleep at a Rush concert. That would be hard to do unless you were like really really overdone it the night before or something. David says, no, it sounds like elevator music. We need Marcus. Why do we need Marcus? I mean, yes, we always need Marcus, but because he fixed his elevators. Oh, right. Woo, that was oblique, dude. Canadian says, when I'm in Scotland, when I'm in Scotland, I'm going to video folks and ask them to say squirrel. And then he's just going to send me this video, like 20 minutes of people saying squirrel, 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 squirrel. I'm going to hate that, but it'll be funny. Oh, Linda, I'd forgotten you were with Epidemic Sound. I do not use Epidemic Sound. I use Sound Stripe, I think it's called. I think it's a little more affordable, but I find that the quality of music you get from Epidemic Sound is a little higher. Little fish in the kitchen, in the house. How's it going? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Just showing up in time for the last 11 minutes. It's going to be the best 11 minutes you've ever seen. I have no idea what that means. I'm just going to check something. Let's just go back to this. Like, that's not irritating, right? What's it, feeding the ducks? What do you guys think? If I make that like down around 15, like real kind of backgroundy, I think that's a little too low, eh? Yeah, 19. What do you think? The bestest 11 minutes of our. Mike's still hanging out with us. This is the night that you should have probably just ignored me and gone to bed or gone to have a pint or something. But thanks for hanging out to the very bitter end. Yep.
It's because I didn't have an actual subject tonight. I mean, my actual subjects don't tend to last, half hour after the Jesse and Russell show starts, but at least it gives us something to bounce back to, Oh, nice. Went out to supper tonight? I don't remember the last time I went out to supper.
She said dinner, not supper.
I'm Eastern Canadian. I do not say dinner.
We'll work on it.
We're not even Eastern, actually. Quebec and Ontario are central. And there's a problem. And this isn't political. This is geographical. Central Canada should be Manitoba and Ontario. Eastern Canada should be Quebec and East. Western Canada should be like Saskatchewan and West. That's how the map should be. Period.
That is how the map is. I mean, you're trying to group provinces.
I love it, Ian. Your subject only works till you get wrestled.
Ian, I like to think I add to the topic.
I think he adds to the topic often. Not having an actual subject makes the live stream better. Just go with it. Uh-oh, David can't hear the elevator music. All right, I'll turn it up just a touch.
Yeah, it is pretty quiet right now. I hear the odd clap.
Yeah, it's a little. So how's that? Now I've got it around 20, 24.
24.
Yeah. You think it should be more like 35? How's that?
Well, I don't know. I mean, we might hear it differently than the viewers hear it.
Canadian cook to pork chops in the grill. Nice. I made pork chop sandwiches yesterday.
It's hard to do pork chops well on the grill. They dry out really fast.
Yeah. Whoa, Linda left Epidemic Sound. Why? Probably cost. It's expensive.
Yeah, it's $20-something a month, and it's like you shouldn't use it unless you're actually making good money from your YouTube.
Yeah, absolutely. Just take a look. Man, how are there 20 people still watching this live stream? Means I should show off my art.
They're waiting for you to break open a bottle of squishy.
Yeah.
Squishy.
Next week. Next week.
Squishy.
There is a week coming up where I will be very late.
Squishy.
I'll drop something into my my community posts.
Skisky.
Charles and Anne going to meet the electrician. All right, have a good one. I like how that.
You tell him what's what. You tell him what's what, Charles.
Tell him how to do his job, Charles.
Don't take any volts that you don't need.
Don't take any wooden nickels.
That's my line.
Really? Do you say that?
It is.
Mike says if I need music on my videos, I just sing. No copyright issues. Fair enough.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah. That's pretty good, actually. I just play Baron.
Squisky.
I'm thinking it's probably a good investment to put any YouTube money towards bettering your channel. Yes, absolutely, Charlie. That's a good comment.
It is, except I mean, when it comes to things like, you also have to be frugal because you're not making a lot of YouTube money at the start, and like there's a lot of good free music out there. Well, let's say decent free music.
Yeah. The song that you use for your theme song, Russell, is that an Epidemic Sound song?
No, that's YouTube free music. Anybody can use it.
And why did you settle on that song?
I've been using it since day one, although I have my very first video has that music. I did Sway a couple of times from other stuff, but then I went back.
But what is it that made you choose that song? You just like it?
It's kind of a soft, nice, melancholy kind of you coming home kind of music.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel anyway. A lot of people don't like it.
Oh, really?
A lot of people do like it. But I don't know.
Sharon says there is someone else using that theme song. Really?
Yeah, of course. It's free music.
Yeah. Mike says, for my genre, I don't really have to use a lot of music, so that's good. That's true. I have used music a lot in my stop yawning in my live streams. Not my live streams, in my videos. Like whenever I used to do B-roll, I would throw music down, which I will likely continue to do. 4 minutes until the bitter end, guys. 4 minutes. And tonight I will not go late because I have got to go to bed. But is Jerry gone out? Gone to bed? I'm looking for Canadian. Yes, while I'm off to Never Never Land, insert heavy chords here. Night, folks. All right, good night, mister. He's probably already gone because I'm so late. New and land never seem to go together because One is the opposite of the other.
New in the land.
I'm working it out here. What did I say or you say to trigger that comment?
I'm not sure what she's talking about.
I'm trying to work it out. I'm just not smart enough. Jim says, just got home but have to step away. Hope to see you back in 5. No, because we're closing her down in 3. But that's okay. Linda's out. Good night.
Shani, yes. It's got to be.
Yes.
I'm thinking it is. And everybody who cooks, especially on the barbecue, you need an instant read thermometer. A Bluetooth one is actually pretty cool, so you don't have to actually go out there and do the thing that I do, is like poking your meat.
Yeah. I did a 10-hour brisket last year, and we used one of those.
10-hour brisket.
Everybody, check out Marcel's YouTube channel, A Little Fish in the Kitchen. I fully back that suggestion. Just right click on it and open it in a new tab.
Like a search. Look like a search query instead of a actual link.
Yeah,
but
it is. But it'll get you there.
You'll find it. Look for Marcel.
Yeah.
Search for.
This live makes me want to drink. I think it's because of the music. I like seeing that. Thermo works well for cooking. Good to know. I'll take a look. Because I don't own. I don't own one. Like, I say, we used one for. It wasn't mine. I was using. I was with someone else at his place using his Kamado Joe and his thermometer. Blah blah blah. Absolutely. 1 minute. Anyone got anything brilliant to say at the dying minute of the live stream?
I love you all.
Everybody is amazing. I think it's next week that I will be late, or the week after, but I'll figure that. I'll figure that out, and I'll post something on my community page, and probably my Instagram page as well, just to let you guys know. Little Fish in the Kitchen is sad you got there so late. That's okay. That's okay. We'll pick it up next time. Good to know. Charlie will be hanging out later. That's good. Everyone's saying bye to each other. Nice to see. Dying minute of the live stream, and we are at 11 o'clock. So maybe by next week I'll have an actual thing to talk about. But between now and then, I'm glad to have had so many of you hang out to the bitter end. I'm glad that Russell hung out with me on screen. So between now and next week, everybody stay healthy, stay sane, stay safe, and be kind to one another.
Peace out.